Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and today started as a get ready with me. The camera died, I lost all the footage, and I was like, well, we can't very well have a get ready with me where we don't get ready. So we are gonna go in today with a different product that I am really excited about. Wow, the brows. Like, I feel like my brows, they should just, like, they could have their own channel because they are so hilarious all the time. I was like, I want something a little bold because the frames I'm wearing today are pretty bold frames, right? Like, so I want them to be seen. I don't want them to be, like, little, I do different brows kind of sometimes based on the glasses or the eye look or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I need my brows to be, like, there, but, like, not too there, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then somehow this happened, and I was just like, and my mom looks at him and goes, they're a little bit, you know, aggressive. And I was like, yeah, so am I. So today we are talking about a product that I, prior to filming this video, I thought it was like a new product and I was really confused. And then I found out it was not in fact a real product. So you're just going to saddle up and hang out with me because it's not actually new. It is the Bronze Goddess palette by Estee Lauder. It says the Summer Look Palette. Palette Summer Look. Okay, just want to like, I don't know if you can read that or not, but that's literally the Summer Look Palette. Palette Summer Look. Okay, I just want to read that twice just so you hear the fabulous packaging that we just gravitate towards. Basically what this is, it says on the back here, I will show you and then we will read it. My first one actually arrived damaged, so like this is a good one. By the way, Estee Lauder, could you kill it any more with your packaging? Like, let's be honest here. Come on. So gorgeous. And then you open it up, you get a beautiful mirror, and then these are what you get, and now I will read what they are. It says the Summer Look Palette. You get 3 silky shadows to highlight, define, and dramatize your eyes, 1 blush for radiant sun-kissed color. It's endless summer, ophthalmologist tested and fragrance free. So I'm assuming what we get here, eyes, blush, eyes, blush. I'm assuming, right? That's what makes sense. I'm living, if I'm being totally honest, I'm living for that blue shade right there. So I thought we would go ahead and like swatch these. As you guys know, I love Estee Lauder. I think that it is some fabulousness. Wow, that is some pigment. That's the blush. And then, oh, wow, these are friggin' creamy. Dang. But I've never actually tried any of her, any of their, what's it called? Like this kind of stuff. Palettes. While that blue is like not coming up. Like I just had to do like 4 swatches on top of each other. It looks really good like when I swipe my hand through the pan, and then not so much after that. So it's definitely a lighter blue. But I just thought that this was such a beautiful concept. I don't like that there is not a matte shadow. They are all 3 shimmer shadows, which I'm kind of like, huh? But, so fun fact, this is how this all came about. And I'm just gonna like do it while we talk. We're gonna hang out. It's gonna be like, you know, kind of a get ready with me, but like not really. Now because this blush is the only matte shade, I'm actually gonna go ahead and take that color right there, or this color right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that in my crease. So, now I can keep talking. I go on the Ulta website and I'm like, yes girl, I need to like, you know, get some new products up in my life. I'm so excited. And about a week and a half ago, I see that this is listed as a new product. I'm like, wait a second, the summer palette, why would this be a new product like at the end of summer? That doesn't make sense. But I bought it anyways because it was beautiful. I mean, look at that. Like I'm obsessed, right? So I go in and I'm like, I start reading around on the internet. Well, I look and I see like, oh, the Estee Lauder website. Okay, it makes sense that this would be on the Estee Lauder website, right? So I go ahead and I hop on there real quick. Wasn't new. It was released by Estee Lauder at the beginning of the summer. Apparently Ulta like just got their hands on it, or somehow it just ended up at Ulta. I don't know. But it was like seriously so beautiful that I'm like, I have to play with this. Like I can't not. It's such a pretty little palette. It's definitely, you know, Estee Lauder in both name and price. So it was, I think, $55, I want to say. So not cheap. But you know, what if you expect Estee Lauder to be cheap, I think that you're kind of, you know, you're wishing for something you're never going to get unless you happen to catch a really good sale or use a 20% off coupon at Ulta. So my boyfriend says coupon. I say coupon and it's starting to wear off and I'm getting pissed because I have literally fought like with half my family about this. I'm like, it's coupon. There's no Q in coupon. And I'm starting to waddle over to the dark side of coupon and it's really bothering me. So you guys, that is like the most effortless color. It just like sits into the crease. It is so blendable and easy to use. I'm just like, okay. Next, I want to go in I'm trying to decide where I want to incorporate that blue, because part of me wants to pop it in the crease, but part of me wants to give it, like, I think that'll be the prettiest way to wear it, because what I'm envisioning is this color, where, you know, obviously where it's at, and then the blue in the crease, the dark to the side, and then the light over here kind of fading to blue. Ooh, better idea. Okay. I'm getting visions, people. I'm getting visions. I'm actually going to take the blue and I'm going to pop it on the middle half, so like from the middle out of my lid. I don't think it's going to work with this brush though, because this shadow is so like almost not pigmented, like, which is really weird. Yeah, I think that this is one of those ones that it definitely goes on best with a finger, because for some reason it's just not, maybe it's because they were going for like a really light blue, I don't know. To me, it's a pretty dramatic color in pan, so I don't think that that was the case. Maybe they just had like a flop of an eyeshadow, I don't know. But even for going on with my finger, that blends in like really easily. And this is supposed to be, by the way, as well, like I'm not going for a super structured look. I'm just going for like a chill, like fun-ish kind of look, but like still like we tried, you know what I'm saying? Because like look at all this effort. I definitely tried. So that's even like relatively effortless to blend out. So now I want to take, I'm going to go back to that brush that I used on the crease. I'm going to take this dark brown shade. I'm just going to pop that on the outer V. And I'm going to try and just work that in right there and kind of smoke out the outer eye. Now, when I buffed I almost said black, that really dark brown in there, it does look beautiful, but unfortunately it somehow like took away all that blue shade. So I have to go back in and add some in there. I don't know what the deal is with this blue shade. It's like very like, I don't want to use the word finicky, but it seems like it just doesn't want to hang out. Like it doesn't want to be a lot of pigment. It doesn't want to, you know, play well with other shadows. It just wants to sit in the sandbox by itself. So while I blend this out, you guys, I'm so excited. I just officially watched my very first monetized ad on my channel. I'm so excited. I'm not excited, like, and I've said this a lot, and I feel like I'm pretty open with you guys about it. Like, I'm not so much excited about like the money, like, oh, I'm gonna get so much money. It has nothing to do with that. But I thought I was getting stuff on my shirt. But it has everything to do with the fact that like I feel like I'm moving in the right direction. And I think to me that's the most exciting thing in the world, to know that like what I'm doing is good and like you guys are liking it and other people are liking it and the subscribers are growing, and I just think that that's pretty awesome. Okay, so this is kind of the stage that we're at right now, and what I want to do last is take that nice bright shade, also known as this fun light shimmer shade here, and I'm going to work it from the inside into that blue color. I'm just going to use my finger. I feel like these manipulate pretty well with my finger, thank God, because as you guys know, I'm definitely like a finger painter. It's one of my favorite ways to do my eyes. It doesn't give like the most precise application every time, but I feel like for some reason when I do it with my hands, there's something about it to me. I feel like the product sits better because it had the heat from my fingers, and I feel like I can place it better. And don't get me wrong, like I usually blend out with a brush and all that, but there's just something about getting to use your fingers with your eye makeup. I'm not like a pretty princess that's like, I have to use a brush. I'm not getting dirty. I'm over here like, look at how much stuff I can get on my body. It's kind of funny. For some reason, I cannot, like, do you see how blue and pigmented, hold on. See how, like, blue and pigmented this eye is? And then this one has, like, none. And I'm, like, irritated with myself right now because for some reason, I am, like, not able to build any product, and it's really pissing me off. Okay, guys, that's about as good as that is going to get, and I'm, like, just frustrated to be all hell. I am going to go ahead and go into the lower lash line with that blue, or at least I'm going to attempt to. And then now that I got some of the blue on the bottom, I'm going to smoke out just the outsides with the darker brown. This gives like a nice smoky kind of effect. Kind of loving that. Like, okay, kind of. I said kind of loving that. What I'm not loving, let me get you guys really close. Really close. What I'm not loving is this in here. This is where I put that shimmer shade, and like, you can't even see it. Like, do you see that top shade right there? That highlight shade? Like, look at that, okay? It has a little shimmer to it. And it's like, the minute it touches my eye, it goes away. And like, I don't understand. I've never dealt with a shadow that was, well, okay, yes I have, but this is just so irritating. Ugh. But anyways, these are them as at this moment, and I'm gonna zoom out now because this is creepy. So far, you guys, that is where we're at with this. I'm gonna save whatever final thoughts I have until the end of the video, but I'm sure at this point you can kind of assume where they're going. You guys, there is so much fallout on my face. Okay, so that's super frustrating. They did have quite a bit of kick in pan. Like as I touched them, they got very crumbly, and I'm not adverse to that. I feel like soft shadows aren't a bad thing. But when they're so soft, I mean, like, I never would have anticipated this much fallout from Estee Lauder. Because, I mean, ideally, I would like to, you know, not have brown eyeshadow on my face, but, like, I'm wearing a lot of it. Yeah, like, literally my entire frickin' nose. Awesome. Thank you, Estee Lauder. Alright, I am going to go ahead. I need to bronze my face. I'm just going to go in with my IT Cosmetics Ombre Bronzer, looking a little something like this. And grab my Real Techniques brush. I love this thing, you guys. If you do not have it, you need it. It is such a great, affordable, fluffy brush. I can't even. It's so good. Like, look at that. Oh my god. Oh, so I had this idea when when I thought I was filming the Get Ready With Me from earlier this morning, which turns out I wasn't filming, but I thought I was, and I had a good idea. I will answer a couple questions in this video that I have gotten from you guys, like in the comment section. And why don't you guys like comment down below in this one with any other questions that you have, or like things you'd like to know, or stuff you think would be interesting for me to talk about. And then next time I actually do a Get Ready With Me, which could be this coming weekend as long as I've got enough time, we could do like an actual Get Ready With Me, and I would have like actual answers or questions that you guys would want to know the answers to. So as we grow in subscribers, I definitely want to keep doing that kind of stuff because I want you guys to get to know me. I feel like that's the best way to A, build a relationship with my subscribers, and B, kind of let you guys know like who you support and, you know, the kind of opinion that you're getting and my thoughts on different things. So go ahead and hit me up in the comments with stuff like that. But to start this one off, one of the questions that I do get, that I've gotten a couple times now, is, Paige, how the hell do you afford to buy all this stuff? And that's a very valid question. Don't get me wrong, I probably wouldn't ask it, but I can definitely see like why you guys would be curious, because I'm not rich by any means. I'm not like a trust fund, you know, kid. I don't have a lot of money. I'm obviously not a big YouTuber. Nothing like that. I actually come from a pretty, you could say humble beginning. That's a good way to put it. So how do I afford all this? Well, it's pretty simple. I am 28. I knew early on in my life that I didn't want to, pardon my reach, that I didn't want to go out and have a kid and get pregnant and all that. There's nothing wrong with doing it. If you did it, obviously that's awesome. I don't hate kids or anything like that. I just knew that that wasn't the direction I wanted my life to go. I watched my mom be a stay-at-home mom, and I've always been more on the career side than on the mom side. And so I was just very like school goal focused, and which is, you know, again, it's to each his own. You can do whatever you want, but that was my path. And I also knew that I didn't want to run out and get married right away, because then you're tied to someone, and then kind of my hopes and dreams or whatever I end up doing, it wasn't for me. Like that whole part of growing up and, you know, having kids, pushing out kids, and then having a husband and getting a house and a mortgage and all that, I looked at it so early on and I was like, no, because I don't want anything to stand in my way of doing whatever it is that I end up deciding I want to do. So fast forward, I'm obviously, like I said, I'm 28 and I still live at home with my parents. I've been in business with my dad for about 8 years now, or just over 8 years. And we own a small shop where I do like custom signs and stuff like that. Like CNC metal artwork, that kind of thing. We also have welders and mechanics and stuff. It's a pretty big job. It's a pretty fun thing, and it's something I do with my dad. We're a small family-owned business, and I think at the end of the day, the reason that I afford this kind of stuff is just because I didn't get the husband and the kids. And you know, husband and kids, or you know, even a wife and kids, they cost money. It's all really expensive, and the mortgage costs money. And my parents and I live with them, and when my dad invested and wanted to start a business, I was there, and we basically just pooled our finances. And to pool finances meant I was going to live at home, meant that, you know, we were both going to sacrifice a lot of things, that we were both going to put all the money we had in savings together, and it just kind of landed us all together in one boat, if you will, him, my mom, and myself. And it's fine, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's something that each person has to decide for themselves. I know a lot of people on here are watching this are probably like, I could never go into business with my dad, he drives me insane, or my mom, or whatever. And I definitely think it's something that you really have to consider for yourself. But for me, it was like a no-brainer. Like, I've always had a decent relationship with my parents. They're great, amazing people. They're just, I'm super blessed to have such good parents, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't say that, they don't even watch these. Well, my mom watches them, but like sporadically when she's got time. And so I don't say this to like, you know, I'm gonna nosy up to them or whatever. Like, that's not the case. It's just something that I say no matter who's listening, that I've been really blessed with great parents. And so now that you know, it's been just over 8 years, and I don't know, a lot of you, I'm gonna go in with the blush in this. No, I'm not. That's not even the right damn palette, Paige. Get your life together. I'm going to go in with the blush in this palette while I talk. Some of you may or may not know. I'm not sure. I don't ever like pretend to judge other people's business backgrounds. But basically they say that like once you hit 7 years, that's when like things start to get a little bit better. And for us, I mean, that's been kind of true. The economy has been really difficult to deal with the last, I'd say, 5 or so years. That's a beautiful blush. And so, you know, it's been hard, but as things have started to kind of turn around and business is changing and we're just learning so many things. But one of the things that I had to learn is that like I needed to do stuff that was important to me, and I needed to have an outlet, because it was to the point where like I literally would do nothing else, like eat, sleep, breathe, shop. It was all about business, and I needed something that I could be, you know, an outlet for, that I could get into. And I've loved makeup for quite some time, and you guys obviously all know my story about why I got into it and stuff. But it's one of those things that for me, it was almost like I needed this as much as I needed money or air. Like, I needed an outlet. I needed something I could do, and not having, you know, a husband and kids and all that really opened it up to where I found the money to do it. There was also, that blush is so pretty. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. And by the way, I'm going to highlight, but I'm not highlighting with this shade. I don't like it. It's not pigmented. I'm not going there. I want to go in first with the Chrome Collection highlight from Maybelline. Oh my god, I love this thing. It's not like my skin tone at all, but I still wear it and I just like pretend that it is. Makes me feel better about myself. And don't get me wrong either, you guys. Like, I would never sit here and say like, this is the only way to do it, is to, you know, live with your parents and da-da-da-da. Like, that's not true. You know, it's all about where your money comes from and stuff. And I actually, a friend of mine was getting married this past summer, like, you know, a couple months ago, and I was supposed to be in the wedding and I wasn't, and there was a huge fight that we got into, and a friend of mine you know, they were a friend of about 15 years or so, and they called it quits, and they decided that they didn't want to be friends with me anymore, and there was a big drama that went along with it, which, I mean, that is what it is. But when that happened, I had already benchmarked a fair amount of money for that wedding, obviously, you know, dress, which is hanging in that closet right there, that I paid full price for, because they kicked me out of their wedding like literally 3 days after I bought my non-deposit, no money back dress. So, but that's irrelevant. It's a pretty dress, so, you know, one of these days I'll do a dance in it or something. But anyways, all of that to say, I had money set aside for this wedding that I didn't end up needing for the wedding, and I was like, you know what? It's time that I invest in myself, and it's time that I do something that I love. So I took some of that money, and it was a pretty big chunk. You know, the wedding wasn't around me; it was south of me, so I was going to need hotel room and, you know, that kind of stuff. And so I had some money, and I went ahead and I took it, and I bought a little camera with it, which this is actually not the camera I bought. I got rid of that one because it did not work. It was garbage. And now, in case you're curious, what do I film with? It's a Canon EOS 570D. I can't hardly read it. I have horrible eyesight. But I took that money and I invested it in myself. And, you know, I don't regret it. I think that it was a good decision. And I think that, you know, that was one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in the last couple of months, is that sometimes when friends say goodbye, it's, you know, it's kind of what you make of it. Yeah, I lost a friend of 15 years, and my mom lost an adopted daughter. And, you know, that part of my life is over. But at the same time, because of my attitude and my outlook on it, this part of my life kind of was born, and I'm like super happy about that. I wouldn't trade this for anything. So it probably looks like I just went in really heavy with that gold highlight, which I did because it's beautiful. You guys, if this is like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with this highlight. I am going to go over it with a lighter toned highlight real quick. Nothing that's like crazy, but just not this one. Not a ton of it, but I want to go in a little bit with Crystal Ball because it's like it's going to bring out the lighter tones. I mean, that was gold toned, and as much as I try to pull gold, I can't. So I like to go in with a little bit more of a cool like ice highlight over top, just a little bit. It probably won't even make much of a difference on camera, but I like to do it just so it picks up a little bit more with my skin tone. So, you know, that's kind of how I got started. And the money side of things, I mean, it is what it is. I'm very open with you guys. I buy a lot of products on sale. I deal with a lot of places that have a good return policy because I'm not going to be sitting here. You know, I am not in a position where I can afford to keep 100 items that I don't like. Like, if I don't like them, I'll tell you I don't like them, and then they're probably going to get returned. So I'm pretty open and honest about all of that. And that's kind of another way that I afford it, if you will. And I use the word afford, you know, afford. That's how I do it. I just make sure that I buy from reputable places with good return policies that I honestly feel like I can trust to honor their product. And if I don't like it, there's no harm, no foul. They just let me return it, which is cool. I'm going to go ahead. I will put on the rest of my face. I am like, my face is so bronzy, and I didn't even realize it because I wasn't paying attention. Ooh, maybe I should diffuse the nose. Like, that nose is so bronzed. Oh, shit. Time for setting spray. So while that dries, what else do I get asked a lot? Honestly, money is one of the biggest things that people ask me about. Like, how do you afford it? And it's just, I don't know. I feel, and don't get me wrong too. Like, I know that I'm super, super blessed to be in the position that I'm in. Like, you know, the fact that I know that sometimes, like, we view our, you know, our marriage when we were 19, we view it as a mistake, or some people think it's their biggest, you know, blessing, or, you know, sometimes maybe you got pregnant and you didn't, like, it's not a bad thing that you got pregnant, but maybe you got pregnant at a bad time or when you didn't want to or whatever. And I think one of the biggest things that I learned, like, after that wedding and all that money, and it really does have so much to do with, like, how you view, how you look at, how you handle the obstacles that are thrown at you. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that when that happened with my friend, it actually happened with 2 friends literally within 1 month. Like, 2 friends, same name. It was uncanny, the resemblance. And I had 2 relationships that just bombed right out, and it was so much about how I handled it that mattered in the situation. And I would say the same to you. You know, if that's what happened, or you're like, well, you know, I wanted to do this, but then this happened. How can you twist that, and how can you take what happened in your current situation to move you forward? I could have been like, oh my God, like, I bought this dress and now I don't have a use for it. Oh my God, it was so expensive. And this person, they're just a dick. And I could have definitely played that card if I wanted to. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to. Like, I have a beautiful dress. Do I need it? No. But, like, I have it. So there's that. And on the upside, I didn't spend all the other money. So, you know, it's all about, like, how you look at it. I consider myself blessed, A, that I had it. Like, I had the ability to set it aside. You know, that I had these things. And it's just, it really is so much about how you handle it and how much you're willing to take from people. How much grief you're willing to take from people. And just so many other facets of it that, as I look back, I think about everything that happened, and I'm like, I'm not going to say it was a blessing, because I feel like to call what happened a blessing would be to kind of shit on them and to say, like, oh, it's a blessing that, you know, this happened and I'm glad you're out of my life, because that's not true. Like, the reality is I'm a very honest person, and for both of the friends that I lost in this past year, they were both really good friends. One was a friend of over 15 years. One was a friend of over 10 years. You know, they were both really good friends, and I love them both dearly. I would have done anything for them, despite what you ask them. And I think to say that something like that in the way that it happened, and oh, I'm glad it happened, I don't feel right with that. So I have to be quiet while I do liner. Oh, hey guys, boy, do I look different. I actually had to go in and literally remove all the makeup I had put on my face, because I A, screwed up my eyeliner, and then B, as I got closer, I was like, I hated the eye look so much that I couldn't deal. So I'm just going in with my dose of colors, just playing around with it a little bit. These shadows are like almost on the verge of too powdery for me, but like I still use them because I just love these purples. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. So I still use it. You just have to be like really mindful of fallout, which joy, because I'm already covered in fallout, so that's great. But I did want to just kind of pop on here. I'll obviously give you like my final thoughts on that palette and stuff, which I'm sure you can already guess what they are because you're not stupid, but I wanted to pop on and finish talking to you because why not? And I don't remember where I like left off in my conversation. I think it was like literally mid-sentence, go me. But one of the things too that I was thinking about as I was removing my makeup, good Lord, was one of the main reasons that I wanted to get into YouTube, and like one of the things that really drew me toward it. It wasn't like so much, yes, like obviously I love makeup, I enjoy doing makeup, I think it's fun, I think it's good to hang out with other people and like this different platform and stuff. I think that that's great. But the main reason that I really got into it, the one reason I wanted a channel, because you can be into makeup and not do YouTube, and you could just do Instagram, you know, and there's like little to no, you know, this kind of interaction on there unless you choose it and stuff, and it's an option. But the reason that I got into it was I feel like this is such a good platform for me to be able to help other people. And one of the main things that I realized after I like didn't go to college and I was going to be a doctor and stuff, like the reason I wanted to be a doctor was so I could help people. It was so I could, you know, meet people where they were, help them figure out and, you know, figure out their diagnosis and just help them live their life, because that is really important to me. That is what my doctor did for me, and he saved my life. He's the one that found my tumor, and if it wasn't for him, honestly, it probably would have exploded by now. But he listened to me, he stopped, he heard what I said, and he was such an amazing guy. And he's retired now, and that's like one of the saddest things in the world. That's part of the reason that I wanted to be a doctor, was because I had seen the difference that a good, amazing person that listens to their patient, I saw in my own life what that can do and how much it can benefit a person. So I wanted to be that for someone else. Well, then I don't end up going pre-med, and it's kind of like, oh, like how am I going to fulfill that part in my life? A lot of people that are close to me know this, but I've always wanted to like have a soup kitchen, and like I plan one day in my life to be able to open a soup kitchen and to be able to open like a center to help people that are in need and that kind of thing. But I wanted a way that I could help people before then, without being able to, you know, literally put in a soup kitchen and, you know, a homeless shelter and that kind of stuff. So that's why I kind of turned to YouTube. I was like, you know what? I can turn on a camera. I can talk through makeup with people, and you can bond with so many people through a medium that you never would have expected. And I can actually make my time getting ready in the morning, I can make it worth something. I can turn on a camera and I can help change someone's life or change their perspective. And I don't say that because I think that, you know, everything I say is so great and I think that I'm just the cat's ass. I don't say that. I say it because sometimes all people need is to know that there's someone else like them out there. Sometimes all you need is to know that you are not alone, that you are not crazy, that you're not over dramatic, that you're not whatever. And I think that that was part of what I wanted to provide for people, because where I live, you're kind of solo. Like I was running solo with a lot of the stuff I was going through, and I love knowing that you guys can watch my videos and you have an autoimmune disease. I actually just got a comment from one of you the other day that said like, hey, I have an autoimmune disease too, and you just told me about it, and to me that is so powerful. And I think that that's something I was looking for in this channel, was the ability to talk to people and hear their stories and kind of hear what you had to say, give you someone that you could ask questions to. I've said this in previous videos, I will say it again. One of these days my goal for this channel is to be able to do like an ask page kind of video where you guys can ask me questions as far as like medical questions or just anything that you need to know. If you have like a relationship question that you want to know the answer to, if you have a medical question, if you have any kind of question that you'd be able to, you know, say like, hey Paige, what would you do if you were me? And that way you guys can kind of get a feel for me that way too. And that's something that one of these days I would really love to do. I think I need a bigger following to do it, but it's definitely something I'm passionate about. So I just think that overall there are so many reasons that I got started with my channel, but the biggest one will always be the fact that I wanted to be able to still help people the way that I wanted to, or for the right reasons, as I did when I wanted to become a doctor. And that just, it matters a lot to me. I'll tell you what, you never realize how intense you're going to go with this Dose of Colors palette, but damn, it's so beautiful. Now I feel like I have a really bright glitter somewhere and I could attempt to do some cool thing. We definitely will need some glitter glue. And we also really need this little dose. This is that Frozen Eyelid Duo. I don't use the weird, the cream shadow that came with it. It's like sticky. I don't like it. But I do like this glitter that it came with. It literally goes everywhere, but it's so pretty. This video is going to be like 3.5. This is like a get ready with me anyways. You guys, it's like I did one anyways. Oh, I'm so excited. See, look at that. All the bad shit worked out. I seriously can't believe I was filming my get ready with me this morning, but I wasn't filming it. I was literally just talking to myself. I'm going to go in with this brush, no extra product, and I'm just going to kind of blend out the sides. So is it like my favorite eye look? No, but do I kind of like it? Yes. Do I honestly think I'm going to be happy with whatever I do today? No. Okay, Paige, continuing to mess with it is not going to make you love it more. So, actually, that does look really pretty. The problem is, like, I think you get so up and close and, like, so into something that, like, you have to, like, step back and go, like, wow, that is really pretty. Especially when you consider how many times you've screwed up your face today, Paige. Yeah, like, this wasn't the foundation I wanted. This really wasn't the face I was going for today. I wanted an easy breezy look, like something that looked effortless. And then I got this. Oh, Paige. I just can't control it. I can't control it, guys. Okay, guys, for real this time, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw the rest of my face on. I will come back. We will talk for a minute, and then I will wrap up this 45-minute video. Hold on. Okay, you guys, I got everything on my face. Sweet Jesus, this feels like I just climbed Everest. I just, like, looked at my phone. I have been in here filming, and I'm not exaggerating, 3 hours. That is how bad everything has went today. But this is the finished product. This is where I always want to cue, like, that sultry music where I sit here and I do this. And I, like, just let you guys stare at me like they do in all those other beauty videos where it's just like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, I always watch those and I feel awkward watching them. I'm just like, I feel like they're about to, like, touch themselves and I, like, should not be watching. Like, they're feeling themselves so much that I'm just like, I better not, because it's gonna go too far. You know, am I the only one that feels that way? It makes me uncomfortable. But, like, at the same time, I have actually, like, when they do that, I screenshot it so I can recreate it because I'll love it. But then I feel like it, like, goes on for too long, and then they do just, and it just makes me uncomfortable. But anyways, all that to be said, you guys, I am obsessed with my face right now. If you were to get close, you definitely see a ton of fallout that is packed into my foundation that looks a lot less than desirable. But I wanted to come on here and give some final thoughts because this did, after all, start out as a review. We were talking about this Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess Summer Look Palette. There's someone outside my door, Elizabeth. So anyways, back to this palette. God, this video is going to be so long. So, I hate this. Like, there's no good way for me to say it. I think that this blush is beautiful. I think the color is beautiful. It is so, so smooth and creamy. And it's like, it's the only thing in this palette that's not like chalky or like weird consistency or crumbly. It's just, this is beautiful. I'm wearing it obviously on my face. I didn't take it off, and I think it's such a beautiful blush. It's almost like a pink meets rose meets mauve undertone. Like, it's, I feel like there's so many blushes in there. Like, in one, it's just beautiful. It's a nice natural color, and I love this blush. I can't say enough good things about it. Now, with that being said, would I spend $55 on this palette for one blush that I like? Hell no. Let me just, like, reiterate that real quick. Hell no. So I would not. But these three shadows over here are dreadful. The brown is probably my favorite just because I keep looking at my face like I'm wearing it. I'm not wearing it anymore. It was that dreadful. But the brown went on and it was true to pan. It was beautiful. It blended really nicely. The blue, as you guys know, you saw the struggle. Like, I could not get pigment out of this blue. No, thank you. And then this highlight shade was not very highlighty. Like, it didn't highlight. It was really chalky. It was really crumbly. Like, I would touch my finger in it and touch my eye and it went all over. Just these two colors, for some reason, not a fan of. This brown I thought was beautiful. The blush I thought was beautiful, but that's about it. But would I keep it for $55? I think $55 is insane for this. I think the packaging is stunning. It's Estee Lauder. I mean, okay, still here. Don't turn the lights off on me. But there's no way I could tell you guys, like, $55. This thing would have to be outstanding, which I'm not going to lie. Like, when I saw this on the internet, I ordered a big order because they gave us a 20% off Platinum Perk coupon, right? 20% off high end, low end, whatever. And I was so, so, so excited to get this. This was my favorite item in the box. I was like, oh my God, I didn't want to swatch it. I didn't want to touch it. And if I had known, what a disappointment this was going to be. Oh my God. I'm so sad about this. So that is it for this video. You guys, thank you so much for being with me and like sticking with me through my half-hour long get ready with me / review a product / let me tell you my life story. Like, I love this kind of stuff. If there's ever anything that you want to see in a video that's like a little unconventional, anything you want to know, anything that you'd want me to talk about in a get ready with me, any advice you need, anything like that, hit me up below, you guys. I'm super excited. We are cruising into the next phase of YouTube. We are getting ads. We are getting subscribers. We are just growing so much. All of us. It's not just me that's growing, because I can't grow without you guys. So I appreciate it. I love it so much. If there's anything, leave it in the comments, because I'm real as hell, if you have not known it already. And I'm like the first person to tell you, like, yeah, I fucked my face up 10 times today before I was able to finish this video. So I've been filming that long, and it shouldn't take that long, but I'm not a professional. So that's how long it takes sometimes. So I am going to get going, you guys. I can't wait to try and edit this nightmare down, and I will talk to you guys all later. I hope you have a great day, night, weekend, whatever. And yeah, take care, you guys. Bye. Womp womp.